click on YouTube and it should go green in a second.
Yay, I think I did it. Okay. Welcome to the Tuesday call-in show that almost didn't happen because my computer's acting up, but now it's okay. So, I just wanted to say welcome. This show has given me trouble since the start. I think this is the third one, so that's kind of scary. But I made it. 14 minutes late. Hopefully people won't give up on me and will come by to say hello. This Tuesday show has given me some trouble. So I'm going to wait a few minutes to see if we get anybody on here. And if you come on, please say hello. This is my experimental day. Tomorrow, I have my regularly scheduled YouTube show, which is called Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom, even though I'm not that angry. Oh, Hosea, hi. Yes, Tuesday's my new day. I'm on. Nails and glitter, yay. I'm on late today because I had serious computer issues and I was freaking out, but I made it. I'm happy to have you guys here. Oh, what a week it's been. But yeah, Hosea, normally my show is on Wednesdays, but I was trying to do I started a panel show in January for Tuesdays. I was going to have people come on and join the panel, but as it turned out, understandably so, most of my friends that I asked to come on and you know, people who are activists and whatnot, they really are concerned about coming on because they feel like there'll be repercussions from white folks about what they say, and they don't feel safe. And it's kind of terrifying in a way. It really is. It's terrifying because it's like, wow. So I'm trying a few other things to see how it goes. So if you're here, say hello, and we will get started. Today is a call-in show, which means you get to call in anytime you want and talk about the subject matter. So before we start it, I wanted to just say how sorry I am to, you know, about Kobe Bryant's family and all the people who were killed in the crash. I know a lot of people are really mourning and really upset and just really hurting over that. And it's just an awful, awful thing. And although that's not the topic of today's discussion, if you want to talk about it, I mean, absolutely. Absolutely, always up to your, you know, if you want to do it. Just if you have something to say or you feel like you need to say something, absolutely, I understand. So I'm going to get started. And hopefully, even though I'm starting late, people will come around. And I'm angry soccer mom. For people who don't know, I'm actually not as angry as I am frustrated, and my kids don't play soccer, never have, so I'm just saying. But this Tuesday's show, as I was saying, was meant to be a panel where it would be a panel discussion. And then I got kicked off Facebook completely, permanently, which I think if I was really rich, I would like want to sue or do something. I don't know what I can do. But I am definitely not thrilled about that. They didn't give me any reason. They didn't give me any explanation. They gave me nothing. But they said I could download all my stuff. So I did. So it is of concern. So the Tuesday panel show is supposed to turn out to be where folks had a discussion, and I was kind of like in the background, but as I said, a lot of people were really, Anton, yay, thank you for being here. Starting a little bit late. Hosea, thank you for mentioning everyone on the helicopter. I'm so sad about that. I don't follow basketball pros, but goodness, it's just, I'm a human. It's horrible. So sad. And anybody who wants to talk about it, that is absolutely fine. Jump right in. Anton, I'm happy you're here. I started so late today. I was just telling everybody that the Tuesday show is kind of morphing into something. I'm not exactly sure what, but I really want to make it a call-in show. Since a lot of my friends and activists are really not comfortable coming on and having their face on the Jamie. Hello. Thanks for being here. They're just not comfortable having their face on camera because of the repercussions. And, you know, I keep mentioning this over and over. I'm not trying to be obnoxious, but think about what that says about our culture right now. I'm not even like a popular person. People are afraid of the repercussions of speaking the honest truth about our history and what's going on in our culture right now. I find that to be incredibly upsetting. I mean, not, oh, poor me, can't get the show going, not that, but my God, this is, you know, 2020, last time I checked, and I don't blame anybody, not one bit. So that's why I'm going to try to do a call-in show today. So, being the unprofessional that I am still, I'm getting there, bear with me. This is the number. Ta-da, I have another piece of paper. Figured that would be thrilling. This is the number, and I will be showing it every so often. And I'll talk about today's topic, and we'll get started and call in, and I am hoping it works this time. Nails and glitter, the internet is forever. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I, you know, when I do my videos and stuff on my YouTube channel, I always go over them and say, and then oftentimes I'll even go back 6 months later and think to myself, every time I think, you know what? I'm older. My feelings about humanity aren't really shifting and changing. They're growing, but they're not really shifting and changing. So I'm always like, okay, yes, that's exactly how I feel still. Because I mean, I guess I'm a controlled person. I don't really say things that I'm like, oh, can't believe I said that. Well, I mean, by accident, but nothing planned. Anyway, so I am fearful this really speaks to our culture, but in a few minutes, I'm going to ask people to call in, and I will get going. So let that sink in for a minute. I'm doing a call-in show because my friends and fellow activists, they feel like it's too risky. The repercussions are too risky to be on camera, and I don't blame them one bit. I mean, this is ridiculous. Think of where we're at, you guys. I'm not trying to like rub it in, but wow, that is telling. That is more telling than, oh, it's upsetting. But anyway, I'm happy you're here. It's just saying a lot. So today's show, I'm going to ask people to call in. I will not say your name, first and last name, although I actually probably, a couple people I do, but I'll just know I'll just say your first name. And tell me what your opinion is on why the hell Trump's still in office and why in the living hell aren't Americans storming the White House or the Senate building or oh my God, the judiciary place where this trial is happening? Because I'm sorry, this is a sham. I don't know. You don't have to be following too closely to know that this is crazy. To put it more bluntly, this is a cover-up. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. This is a total cover-up. I guess transfer of power is a nice way to put it. Objective. I don't want to be too objective, but a fundamental change to our Constitution, as far as I'm concerned. It's the biggest one in my lifetime. If Trump gets out unscathed completely, which so far, I don't know. I want to know what you think. He's set an extreme precedent for what's fundamentally the end of our checks and balances. He gets away with this. And, you know, it's kind of funny. Today I did a ton of research, probably 8 hours worth of research. I had no idea how many scholars believe that he has done like hundreds and hundreds of impeachable offenses. I'll explain. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I've been reading and reading going, another one. And obviously not all of them would stick, or if any of them would stick, but there's stuff I thought I knew, I thought I was paying attention. Not even. He's a very bad man. And I think we're in a lot of trouble. So, in my opinion, I hate to say it, but I think this is kind of, if he gets out unscathed, I think we're done here with the Democratic Republic. And, nobody's going to say, oh, we're we're a dictatorship. No one's going to, well, maybe someone will say it, I might say it, but in my opinion, this is really, because see, all the presidents that are going to come next, if we do have presidents coming next and not kings, no, I mean, I know it sounds like so crazy, but not really. They will know that the executive branch is, for all practical purposes, above the law. The executive branch is above the law in the United States, and I believe that there's a word for that. I think they call that dictatorship, or I just cannot believe. I kind of got the feeling things were going poorly, but I thought that the people, I really thought that the people would come together and say, my God, our Constitution may not have been written by perfect people. Clearly, they were people who could not walk the walk, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it. They knew what was right because they made our Constitution so it could change with time. But they were personally, not all of them, but most of them, were personally unable to live up to a standard in their personal lives that, but for good or for bad, this is what we have. And in its time, it was absolutely cutting edge, and it's a great document. And I don't know if the founding fathers expected somebody like Trump to come along, because he's kind of a mobster guy, and he's really, really circumventing the Constitution, and that's all we have. And so I feel like this is kind of not good. Anyway, not trying to be soothsayer of doom, but check out the stuff. And what I'm going to do is, the whole show is basically about this. There is absolutely no reason that Trump should be in office right now, and I want to talk about why. And I want to know what you think. So this is the number. I'm going to hold it up, my professional little paper that I have. I promise I will definitely get this thing going so that I don't have a piece of paper holding up. But this is, it's kind of a tester. You go onto Skype or call from your phone. I'm told by the resident engineer that this will work. If you have something to say about what's going on with this impeachment trial, I want to know. Big Red Chronicles, Hosea Paradise, were yours and eyes closed the last couple days. They did mention everyone on the plane. All I need to step back to... Okay, got it. I have a question. Did I forget something? Did I miss somebody? When? Oh, because I didn't think I didn't see Hosea saying that. Oh, okay. I didn't. I just thought she meant. I took it as thank you for mentioning everyone. Yeah, because every life matters, and yeah. I'm not sorry, but that got nixed. But okay. I absolutely think everyone's life matters, and as I said, if you weren't here earlier, if you want to talk about that, absolutely, it's unbelievably sad, just heartbreaking on so many levels. I'm open to that. Even today's topic is obviously like, what the hell's he doing in the White House still? Yes, you can absolutely put hi Shadow. Yes, chat is open and going, and if you want to call in, the number is here. I'll do better next time. I was 15 minutes late because my internet was giving me a ton of problems. If you want to call in, we hope it works. Me and my 10 personalities hope it works. But in my very, very privileged white lady opinion, there is no reason on this in living hell, whatever that is, that Trump should be in office right now. And that has only been confirmed by the tons of research I did today. I had no idea how many impeachable offenses have been discussed and brought up and talked about, and I didn't know. It's out of control, people. So I'm going to get into it. Today's topic is, why is that man still in office, and what do you think is going to happen, and anything you have to say about what's going on right now. I am thoroughly disgusted. As I said, I don't want to repeat, but people who support him have sold their freaking soul. And I'm telling you right now, if there's a real devil, he's making room because people have lost their freaking minds. This is insane. And if he gets away with this, can we honestly call ourselves a democratic republic when our Constitution basically has a executive branch that from now on, he gets away with this? Everyone knows the president's above the law. And we don't call that a democratic republic, even an oligarchy. We call it a dictatorship. I mean, I don't know. Just saying. But absolute, ask questions, make comments, say what you want to say, try to be nice about it. Cordial, I guess you could say. You don't have to agree, but be decent. And what happens? Hello, welcome to the show. What's your comment or question?
Hi, Tim. My name is Jacob. I'm from the Los Angeles area, which I spoke to you before.
Yes, thank you for calling. Thank you so much.
Yes, have you heard the news of the Trump administration, the Supreme Court, already denying legal immigrants to get like food stamps and Medicare, Medicaid?
Yep.
Did you hear about that?
What date? What date?
I read about it yesterday. I read about it yesterday.
Yeah,
I think Monday or Tuesday.
Wow. Yeah, it's getting really bad. Are you talking about them making it so that the people can't come in if they are going to be a possible?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I absolutely read about that, and it passed. And I, as a human, I'm disgusted. What's your take? I mean, I'm disgusted.
I'm disgusted as well because I think I told you on the phone before, as a DACA recipient, I'm not going to be very surprised they're going to strike that DACA program down.
That's terrifying.
I'm very disgusted, Kim. I have a history degree. I have a degree in history. And I remember when I was attending college, Cal State Northridge, my U.S. professor talked about immigration. And she talked about all the immigrants coming to LSI, but she did not discuss about the dark side of it. Nativism, the Chinese Exclusion Acts of 1889, and all these other anti-immigrant measures that happened in the beginning of the 20th century. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the cruelties that were done. I mean, it was not...
Pardon?
A lot of cruelties took place at Ellis Island. I mean, they talk about the nice, lovely, but a lot of bad stuff went down as well.
It's pure revision. It's pure revisionism.
Absolutely.
And I blame myself for not speaking up on this.
Well, I absolutely feel for my heart. This has been, talk about a living nightmare. I've never been where you're at, but my friend, I have to tell you, it's like some things just supersede and like a shadow following you around, and to not have this peace of mind that you're settled and you're good and you can just, the ability to at least just go about your business and focus on what you need to. This is a terrible thing. This is cruel.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's cruelty because the person in charge of these policies is Trump advisor Stephen Miller.
Oh, he's a white supremacist. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah. His uncle spoke against him. His name is David Glosser.
Well, they must be ashamed.
I have him on my...
They must be ashamed.
I have him on... Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just saying, excuse me, they must be ashamed. I mean, to have a family member, yeah. I could see
and I have him as a Facebook friend. I have written him a few times. I read about I told him about it. I'm a DACA recipient, and I'm told him I'm concerned. But going back to it, I'm worried about myself, my situation, my fellow DACA recipients.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm really disgusted, Kim, and I hope your audience hears this, especially the white audience. White people in this country, I'm telling you right now, you need to start confronting the disease of nativism. Seriously. It's been ignored, continues to be ignored to this day. They need to listen to what I have to say. If not, this country's going to go down the drain right now.
Yeah. Well,
let me say this.
Go ahead.
I'm getting very fed up with this. I'm getting fed up with the xenophobia from white people.
I'm
not saying all white people.
Right.
The ignorant white people.
Yeah, but it's most
And
of
I
them.
see these sorry, go ahead.
It's most of them. So you go. You go. I'm good.
I've seen these comments on social media from white ignorant folks saying that we deserve this stuff, we broke the law. And when I called them out for their BS, I said, I wrote to them, I'm getting sick and tired. I read to them in generally. I'm getting fed up with ignorant, xenophobic white people of you demonizing these immigrants. And unfortunately, they said being a racist. Yeah.
What?
You heard that saying that, oh, sorry.
Did you just say they said you were a racist?
Yes, racist. I'm a racist.
Well, they clearly don't know the definition then. Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's because, I'm not, if I'm being a racist, am I, as a brown person, or brown people like me, are we institutionally, systematically oppressing white, black, and Asian folks nationwide? No.
of course not.
And I've been living here for 31 years. And to the audience out here who is listening to me, I'm from Mexico, Guadalajara, and I visit my home country. You guys, people who are listening to me, you need to call the representatives immediately, but for both parties. If not, you're not. It's very concerning.
It's
right now.
Absolutely horrific what's happening to the DACA kids, as they call them, and personally, I know a bit of your story because you've been generous enough to share it with me, and the dehumanization is so easy. God, it's just like, oh, that's them. You guys are human beings just like us and trying to have a good life. And this being held over your head so long, my God, it's unconscionable.
Yeah, as a Latino, and I want the audience listening to you right now, I want to say for the general audience who are listening, as a Latino, I have family members who voted for Trump. They didn't care about me. They had no consideration for me at all. Because they had to. One of them was my godfather. He had his hatred for Obama because he was a black man.
Yeah, there's a lot of, it's not just, right. I mean, we are all in a society that's, started and based on white supremacy. So we all get sucked into it, not just the white people. And it's very pervasive. It's everywhere. It's white is right. White is right. So even people get self-hatred and
what I want the audience to listen to me, especially the white audience right now in your program.
Yes.
People say that it's not about skin color when it comes to immigration laws. Let me tell you something. If I were from Russia and I spoke with a thick Russian accent in English, and the cop stops me, he or she is not going to ask us for immigration status.
You'd be welcomed and hugged.
Because.
Yep.
Pardon?
You'd be welcomed in and hugged.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm telling you right now, I endured Proposition 7 in California. And I attended, and the audience listen, I attended a middle school here in LA, in a brown Latino neighborhood, low income, but it's a diverse school because it had a magnet program. It had kids who were from other countries, from Soviet Union. And let me tell you this, to all you people listen to me. Do you honestly think the school official asked these Russian kids their immigration status? No.
No, it's
only brown kids.
It's about racism. It's about color of skin. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the thing that what really bothers me is that white America in general says it's not about skin color. Yes, it is. White America, listen to me, white America, you have a job to confront nativism right now. It is about skin color. Seriously is. If you don't want people like me coming in like this, then you need to hold your government accountable for destabilizing Mexico, Central South America through economical and political means. Destabilization. My home country, Mexico, was destabilized by the U.S. economical terms.
Yep. We had
trade deals that only. Go ahead.
We had a part. Our nation played a part in destabilizing the countries, that of the people who are desperately seeking asylum. We helped do that. Okay. With a lot of our initiatives. So yeah, go ahead. Tell me more, and then I'm going to move on. But this is absolutely what I want. Is I want to hear what you think.
Before I let you go, Kim, because I'm busy right now.
Yes.
I have a message for your audience. You need to start defending DACA recipients. You need to put pressure on both politicians, especially Republicans. Okay, they need to start. White America needs to start confronting, talk about nativism. They need to. Well, we keep this up, this country's going to go down the drain right now. And thank you so much for your time and effort, Kim, and I hope your audience listens to what I have to say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Thank
this
you
is
so
not
much
the
for your
last
time.
this is not the last of our discussion. All right. Thank you
okay.
for coming on.
Thank you so much.
You're a sweetheart.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
Bye.
Yeah, so
Bye,
what
ma'am.
okay.
Have a good night.
You too. What's going on right now is people have forgotten. We have forgotten that if everybody isn't really living under our Constitution with equity and equality, then nobody is. But, we forget. And, it won't happen to us, so it's not really our problem. And I don't want to get into it because this is actually off topic for tonight, but I know that man, and he is a very good man. And he does not deserve this treatment. He's a human being, and this is like a horrible, horrible thing over his head for years and years and years, toying with him. Don't tell me it doesn't cause health issues and whatnot. This is a terrible thing. So definitely, I'd like to do a show on that. With so much going on with the current president, I know it's really hard to keep up with everything, but the DACA people do not deserve this treatment. They don't. And the treatment they're getting, we're next. And if you don't believe that, then you haven't opened a history book. At least one that doesn't have whitewashed history in it. Because this is how it goes. You let someone else's liberty be taken, and the next one in line, and the next one in line. There's a guy named Martin Niemöller. He was a German pastor. He was alive at the time of Nazi takeover, and he hung out and didn't do too much. And those are his words, not mine. Maybe he didn't put it that way, but he didn't do much. And he regretted it till the day he died. He's the one who was imprisoned by Hitler in a special prison, and he ended up getting out and actually going on to be a professor and live. But he's the one who wrote, and I'd like to look it up, but I think my computer will crash, so I can't. So I'm going to have to kind of summarize, which I'm not that great at. He wrote, first they came for the Unionists. I wasn't a Unionist, so I didn't do anything. Next they came for the next group. I wasn't a part of their group, so I did nothing again. And then they came for me, and there was nobody to speak out. And that is the truth. And that's historical. And sometimes I wonder why we even follow history. Because we're not catching on. When one group's freedom is trampled. Okay. Hello and welcome to the show. This is my first, and
Hi.
Hi, who's this?
Oh, hey, I didn't think I was going to get through. I thought it was going to be like a waiting or something like that.
Nope, this is my first day actually getting calls. I'm thrilled to have people, and welcome to the show. You got through. Our real topic for today is supposed to be, why in the hell is Trump still in office? But a friend of mine came on and talked about the DACA, what's going on with DACA, and I'm thrilled that he came on. So we're pretty open. I'm going to try to stick to the topic, but what do you have to say? Comment or question?
Yeah, we should probably just have open borders, right? I mean, this whole DACA thing is because, we try to enforce our borders. What's the point of, I don't understand why we would do that. I think we should just open the borders, and, we need to have a highly educated and healthy population. So we should provide everybody who is able to make it into the lines that define our country. I'm not talking about borders, but I mean, whatever the United States is. Whoever can get in here, and the citizens, we should give them health care and education for free.
Oh, wow. That is such a cool idea. I don't know how practical that is, because I just don't think it's a practical thing to do, to open borders, because it's not really safe, and it's kind of extremist. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like really extreme. Really extreme. Our program, I don't know if you know this, our program for immigration is markedly different than the European one. They actually have open immigration, and some of the countries don't anymore, but they did. For a while, we don't have open immigration. We've closed. So nobody gets to come in and just, unless they sneak in, basically no one gets to come in and just get a pass on it. So I know what you're saying. It doesn't seem like a great idea, safety-wise, for anybody. And also, we don't have full universal health care for our own citizens right now. So I think it's really important. But I appreciate your comment, and I'm very happy you called. And it's just, that's like really, maybe in like 100 years we'll have that kind of thing. But I think right now we still have to have some sort of laws. But the DACA people, that's not how they came in. They were children, innocent, and they were promised a lot. And then they were lied to, and then they were re-promised, and then they were lied to. They're a special case. They came in as children or newborns. They didn't have a say. And then they got promised over and over again, and the promise got taken away. It's just cruel after 30 years or so, 20 to 30 years. That's just, but I mean, absolutely. Ideally, it would be so nice if we could live in that world you're talking about. But thank you for calling. Appreciate it. And I'm having a show tomorrow too, but it's on open topic. It's on like open borders? No, open topic. So thank you for calling.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Hello. Welcome to the show. I can tell this is going to get interesting. Unknown.
Hey, what's up? Want to send all illegal aliens back to where they came from?
Say it again?
Is this for wanting to send back all illegal aliens where they came from?
Are they green and have like big heads? Thanks for calling. This is going to get interesting. Anyway, I will at some point have a person who I can stop, basically people who are being goofballs. But I'm going to do this because I don't really have a long time to do this, and I don't want to waste people's time. I am going to, if people have like goofy stuff to say, since I don't really have a screener, quite obviously, I'll just hang up on you. And I know it's kind of rude, but I don't have, team of one here. I don't really have a lot of options. So, but I'll talk to some people. But if they're going to be goofs, that's very silly. So, according to the acronym is CREW, C-R-E-W, Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. Donald Trump has 2,000 conflicts of interest since he's been president. Now, why does this bother me? Because today I was going to go over some of my personal concerns and pull out, there's 2,000 of them. So, Wyatt, the stream seems to crash every time the phone is answered or hung up, and you're ignoring the trolls. They are just here to annoy you. What do you say? And yeah, ignore the trolls. I will. Thank you. Thanks, Wyatt. Bear with me. People who are here to, hi, soldier brother. People who are here to seriously, participate in stuff in the topic at hand. I am so sorry. Bear with me. I'll get a screener. I'll get it all worked out. My Wednesday show, I kind of got worked out. But, yeah, Anton, they shouldn't waste the airtime. Okay, so we'll go on. Thanks, guys. Just please bear with me. I promise I'll do better. I have so many exciting things coming up. I'm just completely thrilled about. But what we do on this on the Tuesday show, this is my new show, we wanted to make it a panel discussion. But unfortunately, so many people they're just too wary to come on. They're afraid because of the repercussions from racists. And I mean, I don't mean to keep saying that over and over again, but my God. Remember, if you have a different opinion, keep it to yourself. It's not, let me try to explain. It's not as much a different opinion. I set a topic each night, and to me, this isn't political. And I'll explain this once. Maybe I'll explain it again. It's not political. This has nothing to do with politics. This has to do with being human. Okay? And we were given this gift of humanity. We don't have to act on our instinct like animals in fear or in sadness. We can be fearful and be sad, and we don't have to act on it. Does that make sense? We don't have to go throttle someone. You can stop yourself and say, okay, let's be logical. That's a gift. Most animals really don't have that. And we have that. So let's use that to think And as most of us know, race is a human construct. And so we're all of the human race. There are no separate races, only in that we make them separate races by simply saying, well, you're the blue people, you're the, doing a color code. But it's all enmeshed. If you really look at it and study it. Study the Human Genome Project. It's really cool. And it'll teach you a lot. So according to this Crew group, this Citizens for Responsible Ethics, he has 2,000 conflicts. So I couldn't really get into the conflicts very, very well. There's a lot of them. But I'll do a brief overview, and then we'll have people jump in and calls. Getting calls might be hard. It might be a little bit tough because of, the lack of, I'm not really having to monitor the streaming, but I will definitely take real calls from people who want to. You and I could talk all day. I would love to. Tomorrow is my regular show that I've done. Let me see, I'm on show 75 or something crazy like that, and it's open to all topics. Tonight is just a little short show where people can call in if they're serious about actually talking and giving their opinions. And interesting, I'm a big Trumper and I love all humans. That's a tough pill to swallow, my friend. It really is. Because he's done some really bad things to particular groups of humans, and purposefully. So that's a toughie. Because you kind of, if you support somebody, you can't have it both ways. Because even if you're not racist yourself, it wasn't a deal breaker for you. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't a deal breaker for you, and that's troubling. Okay, because we're all human, and hate's so easy. It's easy to hate. Anyone can do that. Let's take the road less traveled and try to be, think about it as if it was your son or something, or your baby or your child or somebody you love. It really is life-changing. We are one handshake away from total strangers being friends. And what a handshake that is. It's a big one. So we're on this earth for such a short amount of time. It's insignificant. Do we really have to be cruel and horrible to our fellow humans? I don't know. Some say yes, some don't say anything. They just show yes. But anyway, so I tried to go over Donald Trump's 2,000 conflicts, and I couldn't really do it. But in general, he wanted to drain the swamp. Let's do this. Hello. I hope you're here for seriousness. Uh-oh. Hello. Ooh, I freaked somebody out. He sued to drain the swamp, yet in Washington, by rooting out corruption, it kind of didn't work that way. He's doing the opposite. That was his whole thing, is to root out, corruption and whatnot. But sadly, during his time in office, he's done the opposite, and he's placed former lobbyists, extremist lobbyists, and extremists who are lobbyists in positions of power over the same area they were trying to destroy. So basically, it's like putting a person who loves big oil and pollution in charge of the environment. It's just a really, really tough thing, because he's picked so many people that are perfectly not matched to doing what they're doing. I mean, to him they're matched. They're going to destroy the programs. So it's a really tough thing. And then he's made a lot of them acting heads, so they don't have they don't have to be passed through by Congress. And it's what I call circumventing the Constitution. And it's sneaky. Is it smart? Maybe, but in a really sneaky way, so that Congress doesn't have to approve, and you can put pretty much bad guys in the place of that he wants, and he doesn't have anybody checking and balancing. So it's basically like cheating, kind of a mobster mentality, continuously trying to find ways to circumvent the spirit of the law. So he's given foreign governments, special interests, the opportunity to, in special interest groups, the opportunity to purchase access to him, to his administration, by patronizing his business. Try again. Hi, hope someone's serious. If not, I'm going to hang up on you. Hello.
Yes, I have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, and number 6 a fixed dick.
Corruption that I don't know if you guys have thought about it, but I really haven't. So there isn't enough time for me to list all the things that are illegal, impeachable, unpresidential, ways Trump has attempted to corrupt and circumvent the Constitution. But, you know, a lot of people are, and I really mean this, a lot of people are coming in here going, you know, thinking this is really, really funny. And Susan, hi! And I'm going to slow it down for a second. Thinking this is all funny. And you can laugh all you want, but maybe you don't quite understand. And I get it. You know, maybe you didn't go to like a school that was really good. Not all schools are created equal. But thanks for being here, Susan. This could be interesting. Our Constitution, although written by men who were not perfect, that's all we got. And it is an incredible document. I don't think that it was meant for somebody like Trump. He might destroy our nation because he's getting away with a lot, because he's very mobster-like, and he's crushing the spirit of the Constitution through, you know, things like placing people in roles that are temporary roles, so Congress doesn't have to actually allow them in. He's doing what he can. He's very good at what he does. And it's not really, in many ways, holding up to his oath of office. And that is why we're in the place we are right now with the, you know, 2 impeachment articles. But here's the thing. This is crazy. When I looked it up, all the impeachable stuff that he supposedly is, you know, people have brought up, and I'm talking people tried to sue him, you know, they're bringing it up, and the House as well. There's so many. I couldn't keep up. I was like, oh my God. Things, because I thought I followed the news, because I follow like 5 different stations. I read the newspaper. I mean, I'm like a crazy person. Yet, I couldn't keep up. When I saw some of these things, I was like, damn. So he's really, really, really going to town with our Constitution. And he's destroying, and the people who support him are helping him. And, you know, it's one thing to be like super, super racist and all that, and not understand how, if you're white and you're, you know, extreme racist, you're acting against your own better interest. But a lot of white folks don't get that. And I get that they don't get that. That makes sense. I get that they don't get. I'm going to back up for a minute and take a question. And then I'm going to start on some interesting stuff. Wow, lots of people. And Dave, thanks for being here. Wow. Please try to, if you are legit actually interested in the topic, other than to be, you know, silly and troll-like in nature, please consider sticking with me for the Tuesday show. As most of you know, I have a Wednesday show that's been going on for over a year, and it's been just wonderful. It's called Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom. It's your choice, your voice, your choice of topics, and anything that has to do with systemic racism, bigotry, and inequality in America is fair game for topics. I usually prepare a few things. That's tomorrow night at 9. This is my first official call-in show. And I know for sure that I'm going to need to get somebody to do the lines and see what people really are trying to say, because we want people on topic and stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't really bother me much when people call in, because I think they're just hilarious, and, you know, it doesn't bother me. I wish I could actually talk to them, but the people who are really here for the topic, it's kind of rude if I do that. So I hope you understand. So I'm going to scroll back. Thanks for being here, Dave. And try to find some legit show. Soldier Broder says, I lost you. I'm so sorry. I hate Trump and his disgusting supporters. You know, I understand that sentiment. I do, because they're hurting our fellow humans. I get it. And I'm not thrilled with Trump or the supporters. But the people who support him, I'm not making excuses for them. They need our education, not our hatred. And I am not telling you how to think, how to feel, but it's a toughie, because being patient with somebody who's harming other humans is like, oh my God, it's like you think they're crazy or something. So it's been a really tough thing. But I found with education, a lot of people who support Trump can kind of move along. It's just, what it is I'm going to just be blunt about it. It's having to use a part of your brain that isn't really sophisticated. My friend Michael, who actually wrote a number of books on the subject, is a brilliant writer, and he's a brilliant scholar. And he tries to explain that the part of our brain that allows us to not be tribal and very, protective of I, me, my, and even reach out and think, I'm part of a group, I can protect the group. To kind of reach out, it's not that old. Hello. Do I dare ask if you are someone who is serious with a comment?
Oh yeah, I was just wanted to bring up the part you were talking about Trump and how there are a lot of people who get tricked by him and think he's doing a good thing, and it's a weird part of their brain that they can't get through. I was very interested in that.
Yeah, what it is there's extremist thinking, and it's not just Trump people, it's all of us. All of us.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, because I used to be a supporter, I voted for him, but then I realized that he is just a Zion and a tool for the Jews. Do you agree?
No, I don't agree with that, but I agree that he has some very, very bigoted ways. I'm not ready to go that extreme and blame like.
I have a problem with his bigotry as well. I don't think he's racist enough. He doesn't agree that white people are the greatest people in the world.
No, yes he does. Yeah, have you seen his? You know what you got to do? Let me tell you. Did he hang up? Hello?
No.
What you gonna do?
He seems like Jews quite an awful lot. He doesn't like white people. He doesn't really do anything in their interests.
I'm gonna hang up, but I am gonna continue and speak to that, because he is a huge eugenics fan, and so I'm gonna say goodbye because this isn't really on topic.
Yeah,
he
wants to kill us.
But anyway, that was a good try, I guess. Let me explain something. He is a eugenicist. He's on video talking about genes, his being the greatest and all that, and I'm sure you know about but just give me a minute. And so what's going on right now is, if you want to learn about him, go watch his old videos, and he's racist. All right, so let me keep going for a minute, and I'm not going to back up, and I promise if you stick with me, I will have a screener, and it will be the best screener. I'm not such a good screener because I like to kind of shoot the shit with people who are being goofballs, and I shouldn't. I'm going to stop taking calls for a minute, and then I will be right back. So to start with, this is really crazy. Every modern president, you know what I need to do? 1 second. Okay. I'm going to try to, remember this, I'm just learning. Every modern president divested their business interests before coming into office. And, so that they don't have like so much power and making money with their personal finances and whatnot, and kind of using the presidency to make a ton of money instead of kind of choose the country over them. And that's one huge way that Trump has chosen not to go. And he's broken a norm, and he's broken the Emoluments clause of the Constitution, so to speak. And these aren't I'm not an attorney, and I'm not a constitutional lawyer by any means, but these are, this is kind of common knowledge. So what's happening is, what's going on is the emoluments clause is for people who are elected officials and, presidents, and essentially requires them to have permission from Congress before they accept gifts and money. And there's two parts to it. One part is the domestic part, and the other part is the foreign part. And people have said he's really messing up with both. So it's a really, really tough thing. Susan, your education seems to be based on that drop. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Okay. Do not encourage the trolls. I could have a show just for trolls. That would be so cool. Maybe it would. I don't know. But bear with me. Soldier Brother, I guess that anti-Semitic supporters aren't happy that Trump gave Jerusalem to Israel today. Idiots. Yeah, it's really crazy. A lot of people are super uneducated or just really raised in hateful homes. Hi, Scott. And if they're raised in hateful homes, it's like they kind of get brainwashed a little bit. And they know when they were little, if their mom or dad, if their racist mom or dad wasn't there, they'd play with anybody. So, I mean, I don't think they were born that way. It's more like, Polly, to Susan, how do you and Kim identify politically? I don't. I'll put it that way. I don't identify politically. I'm a humanist. That's it. Point blank. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm a humanist. I always, Pat, you're here to save the day. We're getting trolled a lot, but it'll get better. So stick with me. Yeah, I'm going to try to get I know I'm missing people's comments because there's so many. So I don't know how Susan does. I don't know. I'm not into the labels thing so much for me personally. So, but politically, I go with humanistic, I pick a person because we don't know what a president is going to do with the thousands of decisions that he makes every single day. I picked the most humanistic one in hopes that will be the central basis for their decision making. So when they go about thinking about our fellow humans, they think of them as our sisters and brothers, not as somebody to dehumanize and do cruel things to. And I think that's really important. And maybe that's too advanced or too sweet or nice, but that's kind of where I'm at. And I know there's not a lot of people who share my feelings, but I can't help the way I feel, just like you can't seem to help the way you feel if you're a pure, unadulterated hater of all that isn't white. It's just, I keep researching and trying to learn, and that's really important, is to research and keep learning. And don't let yourself slide into the hate. Being a hater is easy. You don't have to do anything, okay? Loving our fellow human beings is so much harder. And so I guess my point is challenge yourself. Happilia, you are more likely an angry... Call me what you want. Call me what you want. Angry grandma is fine. Angry great grandma. What else? But I'm good with it. You know what? It beats the alternative, which is being in the grave. So I'm okay with it. Thank you, though, for that comment. So I'm going to get a great screener and make this. Thank you, Soldier Broder. I'm so apologetic for the trolls. I'm going to go on, and I guess the whole call thing's not working out so great. I am so sorry. What can you do? Okay. So the emolument clause, if you don't know what it is, and it's not your fault, it's kind of an antiquated word, is basically if you're making profit, you're making profits and stuff like that. And a lot of people think he is. Yeah, and so, hi Pat. What you have to do is, let me just see here. I'm going to let a few people through. Okay. Susan. Okay, Susan, you are going after. Susan's a toughie. Don't mess with her. So Trump made it clear that he doesn't believe in the Constitution when he said, "You people with this phony emoluments clause." Well, I mean, that's our Constitution, and he's going against his the Constitution he swore to. Yeah. Let me see. Anton. Poverty is a man-made condition. Being poor is lack of wealth. Let me see. Oh my God, I'm not paying anybody. Let me see. Just yeah, but thank you. Don't worry about it. Just try to stick with me, and I'll try to get the trolls under control. Sorry, no pun intended. Somebody asked the Second Amendment. It's off topic, but I will definitely say I am 100% pro common sense gun laws. We can do it, people. Common sense. Common sense is so good. And the coolest thing is, we as humans have this gift, unlike the other animals, of we can think. We don't have to act on our instinct and just rush to, just act on something right away out of fear. We can think. And thinking is painful. And it hurts. It's not like fun. So it's really, really good to do that. For lack of a better way to put it. So, according to Vox, Trump's excuse for not wanting to follow the Emoluments Clause was that Obama and Washington did it. And that's actually kind of cute. It's interesting. Because first of all, that's not correct. Obama didn't do it, or he would have been prosecuted. And Washington, I'm not even going to go there. He's the first president. There's a lot of things he didn't do. He was one of our first. And so it's in our Constitution. So you have to understand when the Constitution was written and everything. Okay? It's not like we had this great Constitution, then we got a president. There was a certain order of operations that wasn't ideal. Question. Why do I prioritize foreigners over Americans? You'd rather see the U.S. destroyed before you hurt anyone's feelings. Great question. I'm sorry you feel that way. That's not my sentiment at all. The people who made the rules for our border, we don't do what Europe does. They have open immigration. We don't. We have one of the strictest immigration policies in the world, in the sense that it is so well screened. I love our country, but I've learned what makes our country great, and hate's not it. Hate's bad for everybody, and I know that's so hard to understand. You guys, a lot of you all, you're going against the wrong people. You're picking the wrong enemy. The wealthiest elite thank you for your services. You're doing their work for free. By hating people of color, by hating immigrants, by trying to, you are doing their work for free. And it is incredible. I'm going to read a quick quote, if I can grab it. I can't. But I will try. It takes too long. Let me just try it. And I will put really fast LB. If I knew how to turn it off, I would. Maybe I'll lose a few trolls. Give me 1 second. Okay, and this is like one of my favorite all-time quotes. And I will read it to you. And basically, this is kind of what a lot of folks who are super into white supremacy and all that, and this is kind of what they do. Lyndon B., and this is very antiquated, so forgive me, that I don't want to misquote him. I'd like to turn this off because we're getting totally crazy things. Lyndon B. Johnson once said, if you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pockets. Hell, give him someone to look down upon, and he'll empty his pockets for you. And I truly feel like I don't know a lot about him, but that I find to be one of the most truthful things about people who are really hooked on their own whiteness. They're so excited how white they are, but see, we didn't do anything to be born white. And white is just a lack of melanation, activated melanin in your skin. Did you know that? So it's not like, let's just say, folks who are super racist are, I don't know, the wealthiest elites. Thank you for their service. What can you say? So anyway, I'll go on for a little bit longer. It's kind of a tough night, and I got to see what my poor monitor's having happen. She probably... Oh, yes. Okay. Got it. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry for the delay. I need my friend Pat. I'm going to jump in there and see what I can do. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I hope I didn't cut anybody off. But, let's just see. I've never done this before, so I apologize. Oh, this is getting interesting. What I'm going to do is, dashboard. I'm so sorry, people. If Pat would say hi really fast, I will be able to grab his name and go from there. Dang. So, Pat, I got to get to the bottom. Right. You know, a lot of times people will end up, okay, hang on 1 second. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. A lot of times people, there we go. Thanks. Sorry it took me so long. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. People just aren't educated. And what they'll do is they're so used to being kind of like white is right that they end up finding equity and just equality to be kind of marginalizing. Because we've been able to have our white supremacy for so long. That's, it's a toughie. And so even just having, how do I explain it? Just everybody having equality to a person who's really, really into their whiteness, it makes them feel marginalized. When we have enough equality and equity in this country to share. Our enemies are not black, brown, indigenous, Hebrew, Israelites, and all that. Those aren't our enemies. Okay? The wealthiest elite have conned you. All right? And I'm going to move on for a little bit longer. Now, I wanted to, before we go tonight, I wanted to just mention tomorrow I have my show that I've had for a year. Today's my experimental show, and you can see how that's going. But actually, it's awesome. If you stick with me, we'll get the trolls in control. Okay, we will. Don't worry. I'm not too worried. If you could just hang in. Thank you, Sylvanus. If I can, it's scrolling so fast. Thank you. I appreciate it. I have a lot of really amazing people who want to actually talk about the subject in a really kind of civil way. So we'll get there. Let me just see. Okay. Let me see. Lots of people. Unavela. Do you believe in the... it's scrolling too fast. I missed your message. I'm going to take messages that are on target. I'll find you. Oh, you got in trouble. Your message is gone. Okay, I'm going to keep going. A little tough with... we're not doing numbers tonight because too many trolls are coming on. I'm so sorry. But I will keep going for a little bit longer. I want to tell you, tomorrow night is my Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom. And... what I've been doing for my 75th show, it is, activate. You never answered how to activate my melanin. Well, get in the sun. Get in the sun and see what happens. Get in the sun, and that'll help you. Very funny. But anyway, tomorrow night's Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom, it's your voice, your topic of choice, anything that has to do with Jamie. What's going on right now is I had so many people going through that I had to shut it down. I'm so sorry, Jamie, but bear with me, my sweet friend. And I wanted to do a quick shout out. My friend Pat has a birthday today, and he is such a support to me personally and in the show. And I just wanted to thank you. And thanks, Soldier Broder, for and thank you to everybody who's hanging in there with me. It's kind of exciting. It's kind of exciting having trolls, but it's kind of not good for the audience, I guess you could say, that really want to talk about it. So bear with me. I'll get it under control. Okay? And the last thing I wanted to say was, please join me tomorrow where there is no calling in. And we do try to have a conversation about all topics that are current anti-racism, anti-bigotry, and pro-inclusivity and peace and love and kumbaya. No, I'm just kidding. We like to keep it real. All right? So, and that's going to be really hard for a lot of people. But, oh my gosh. So the last thing I wanted to say was that and I'll list some of the topics. I had no idea how many problems Trump was having sticking to the Constitution until I researched today. And here are some of the topics. And I will go over them right now. It's kind of interesting. It's a lot, guys, so brace yourself. Incitement of violence. Since Trump's election and his inauguration, he's made a number of inciting violence here and there. I could go on and on and on, but that is against the Constitution. He's not supposed to do that. He's not supposed to incite violence. And I have a lot of research done on that, but I'm not going to read it right now. I'm just going to kind of list everything. He's interfered with voting rights by telling his clan to go check out this supposed voter fraud. There's no voter fraud other than politicians who have chosen to do horrific things, like Georgia, I mean, we all know. But there's no individual voter fraud. It's extremely low. It always has been. So in other words, he's gotten people to act vigilante, like in the olden days, like in the Jim Crow era, and a lot of stuff that most of the white supremacist types, they just don't know their own racial history. So I'll do a quick list of some of the things you can look up to educate yourself. Sundown towns, or go on my YouTube channel and check out some of the videos. Start with, if you're kind of like the racist type or whatever, nobody ever admits that, go onto my YouTube channel and look up, there's a anti-racism 101, and it's just like the basics, and you will learn so much. You will not even believe it. It'll be life-changing. Okay? So do that, and I'll just, you'll learn stuff like, you'll learn about sundown towns, you'll learn about the Devil's Punch Bowl, you'll learn about, oh my goodness, black codes. I could just go on and on. There's so much. The 13th Amendment, the origins of police, why police absolutely can stop murdering our own citizens, including white people, but the white people don't really want them to, or they would stop. Because, see, it's a whole story, but watch my videos, and maybe, somebody watched an anti-racism video and it changed their life. That makes me so happy. Great to hear. You guys are silly. But seriously, check it out. Have an open mind. Research it. You don't believe what the video says? Look it up. Some really good, solid sources. You don't want to use, sources that are kind of like not legit. You really want to do your research, because remember, the fairness doctrine has not been in play for quite some time. Your news does not have to be fair. That combined with Citizens United has really screwed us. So anyway, so I'll keep listing things. It's kind of interesting. Interfering with voting, that's against the Constitution. Discriminating based on religion, when he wanted to shut down our entire country to all Muslim majority countries. Shows a very, very ahistorical perspective on a religion. Because, see, not all Muslims are terrorists, or we'd all be dead. 1 out of every 3 people in the world is of the Muslim faith. Each country has a culture around that faith, as do Christian and Catholic countries. Some are extreme, most are actually not. And if you think about it, Muslim majority countries have already had 3 or 4 even women heads of state. Have we? So, I mean, you got to really learn. But anyway, I'm getting kind of thrown off here, so let me keep going. Discrimination based on religion. Illegal war, I didn't even get into, okay, because that's illegal threat of nuclear power. See, these are all the things that he's been accused of, not by me. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a constitutional lawyer. These are all the things that he's been accused of since he's been in office. People have tried to sue him for this. People have tried to impeach him for this. I had no idea until I looked it up today. I mean, I had an idea, but my God. Threat of nuclear, abuse of pardoning power. Oh my God, there was huge amounts of information on that. Obstruction of justice, don't even go there. Politicization of prosecutions. Collusion against the United States, the foreign government, we all know about that, so I don't have to talk about that. Failure to reasonably repair or respond to Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Maria. Now, I have friends that live in Puerto Rico, and they're part of the United States, and what he did there was unconscionable, and people wanted to impeach him for it. And I just was appalled what he did there. He allowed people to die. He allowed people to die through his inaction. He's the President of the United States. Oh my God. That's awful. The separating the children and infants from their families, making it a crime to cross the border with a child, taking their children away. Oh my God. There is nothing more cruel and sick. How would you like your child taken away? I have a video on it that my friend made, and it was amazing. And I hope you all see it. My friend made this incredibly professional, amazing, well, he's a videographer, but video. And I would love for you all to check it out. I can't, actually, maybe I will. I don't know if I can bring it up right now, but I would love you to see it. I can't bring it up right this second, but when I find it, I will definitely show you. It is a video that's going to really make you think, okay? And I'm going to try to find the name. It's kind of tough in the middle of a show, but let me just wrap this up, and then maybe I'll put it in the end credits, okay? So almost anything I talk about you can find on my channel. And remember, tomorrow at 9, Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom. All topics include anything newsworthy about racist bigotry and inequality in America. And apparently that's kind of everything at this point. I'm sorry our nation's so split up. Separating the children at the border. If it can happen to them, it can happen to us. Okay? We allowed that. Illegal, attempting to influence an election. There was another one. All these had lists and lists and scores of things. So, thank you, Connor. And, that's funny. Yeah. My Puerto Rican friend is a PhD. He's brilliant and an incredibly nice person. Illegally attempting for elections. These are all things I didn't say he did. These are, scholars and people who say these are impeachable things. Illegally, got that. Tax and fraud and public misrepresentation. I didn't realize that is actually against the Constitution too. Assaulting freedom of the press. Apparently that's in there too. Unconstitutional declaration of an emergency. I guess that's in there too. Instructing Border Patrol to violate the law. That's in there too somewhere. Refusal to comply with subpoenas. Hello, it's a subpoena. I don't understand why people aren't storming our nation's capital, because the truth is we're letting this happen. Watch what you wish for, Trump supporters. Your group could be next. And I say that, and I don't mean it funny. It's those that support him haven't followed history. They haven't learned from history. Your group will be next. And unless you are a millionaire, billionaire, you're going against your own best interest by being hateful. You are. Black, brown, and indigenous people are not the reason for you having to work so hard in America to make ends meet. Working your ass off, barely making it. I get it. We're all doing it. And the wealthiest elite, thank you for your racism. Because what you're doing is you're making sure that white folks, brown, black, and indigenous, never unite as a block to stand up to the wealthiest elite who are hoarding money and playing you like a fool. Okay? And that's kind of the truth. So he also, people wanted to impeach him for the declaration of emergency without a basis in order to violate the will of Congress. Oh my God, I'm going on and on and on. Illegal proliferation of nuclear technology. Kate, don't know the details on that. That's terrifying. Well, actually, I kind of do, but illegally removing the United States from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Force Treaty, seeking to use foreign governments' resources against political rivals. Well, we all know what that's about. Refusal to comply with impeachment inquiries. And the last few, just the last few, so he's trying to circumvent our Constitution. And that's not good for anybody, all right? And I'm sorry to all the people who are trying to be funny and this and that. I'm sorry if I'm not, like, kind of getting into, like, enraged. You guys don't enrage me at all. I think it's actually so sociologically interesting. And if it weren't for my friends that I love doing this show with, I would beg you to stay every single time. Because, you see, I think it is unbelievably interesting. The people who are like haters and, well, I mean, I think half the trolls just do it for attention or whatever, but like the anti-Semite people and the racist people, it's like, why do it? I don't really get it even. But it's kind of interesting to me because I'm kind of a sociologist at heart. But it's not really fair to the people who actually want to have a chat. So, anyway, a couple more and I'll say goodnight. Amazon. What he did to Amazon. Repeatedly instructing the Postmaster General to double the shipping rates for Amazon. Hello. Calling, his bigotry is not actually constitutionally illegal. It's probably immoral, but the House some of them wanted to impeach him on that, but it didn't work because it wasn't considered an impeachable offense. So I'm not sure why it's on my list. But he did try to personally intervene and try to block the merger between AT&T and Time Warner, in order to try to punish CNN. I mean, he's digging his nose where it shouldn't be. I wish people would stop anti-Semitism. Yeah, I think it'd be a really great thing too. What else was there? Personally intervening to, yeah, that's that. The 7 immigrant children, prior to the stuff that he did, with drastically changing these laws to make it a crime to seek asylum and cross the border without papers, for people who are escaping from places that we helped destabilize. Before he did that, the 10 years previous, 0 children have ever died in custody. 7 have died. These are children. They could be yours. Little kids are dead because he didn't give a shit. Now, even the trolls know that you probably watch your Marvel movies, right? Like with great, what's the saying? It's a Spider-Man thing. With great power comes greater responsibility or something like that. I might be messing it up. But apparently you're not going with it. Because if you support Trump, a person with, probably the most power in the United States, probably, maybe, likely, and you don't find the need to hold him accountable and responsible for human lives, it's kind of messed up. So, and I know a lot of you don't really care, but that's okay. Maybe hearing this 1,000 times, maybe like the 1,000 bazillionth, or you know what? Maybe you have to learn. You can't learn vicariously. Maybe you'll have to learn by having it happen to you. But like Martin Niemöller said with Hitler, he said, first they came for the Unionists, and I wasn't a Unionist, so I did nothing. Next, they came for another group, and I wasn't part of their group, so I did nothing. And next they came for my group, and there was no one left to help. And I'm paraphrasing. So, anyway, thank you for being here. There's tons. Oh, the hush money. The Jared, his daughter's husband, granting him security clearances, kids in cages, lies and lies, attacking the media, all these things. Someone has tried to impeach him for. So anyway, I want to thank my 2 moderators. I seriously owe you, and all of my friends who... Why, of course. My phone who wants some attention too. And I just wanted to thank everybody for being here, that's here for serious. And if you're a troll, maybe join in seriously if you want, or watch some videos. So I wanted to explain to you, if you watch Fox News only, you're not getting real news. You're getting state-run media. And so just, if you truly, truly want to know what's going on, watch Fox, but watch something else too. You know? I've watched Fox before. Watched an array of things. So you have to understand, we don't have the fairness doctrine anymore. They don't have to be fair. They can just entertain you. And you believe it because you don't want to look up stuff or whatever. So thanks for being here. If you are a person who's seriously here, I so appreciate you. Bear with me. The trolls will get bored. They will go away. Okay? But I won't. Because I really, really care about my fellow humans. And I'll be here tomorrow at 9 for a regularly scheduled program. And I promise, if you bear with me, I will get some great people to monitor the phones. And we'll have some real conversation like we did at the beginning. So don't be a stranger. Get a hold of me. I got completely kicked off Facebook. Wiped off. Don't know why. Have absolutely no clue. They haven't told me. So if you want to get a hold of me, got to get a hold of me through my Angry Soccer Mom page on Facebook. I'm able to get into that. Okay? So if you're here for real, thank you so much. And please don't leave because of the trolls, because they'll go away. Okay? And I have a lot of cool things to tell you, and I will probably tell you tomorrow. So thanks for being here, and say hi to me. I'll answer every message eventually. I'm going to get to everything. Okay? And thank you, Pat, and thank you, Nails and Glitter, and everyone else who's here to discuss in an open setting racism, bigotry, and inequality in America, and what we can do to educate people to come together. All right? So I will say good night. Thank you. This has been interesting. It always is. Bye. If only I was technically capable.